Today we'll be doing our knotless braid tutorial. First, you want to make sure that you have all your tools and equipments that you need, and you section out your hair. Then we're gonna braid 2 braid, and then we're gonna start adding our hair. So we're gonna grab our first piece, add it between our pincher fingers, your thumb and your index finger, that is, and then we braid two more braid. Then we add our second piece, we braid another 2 braid, and then we're gonna add our third piece. Most times for this knotless braid, I normally use 4 pieces, and then we're gonna add our last piece here. And then you want to turn your hand over. After you would have braid down 2 braid, you turn your hand, and then you want to braid right down in a wrapping method. So this method here, when you do the wrapping method, it helps you to like hide the pieces that you do not want to show, especially if you're using 2 different color here, and this helps the braid to be neat also. So you want to braid right down up to your desired length, and then you continue. For this knotless braid tutorial, I'm going to be showing you 2 different methods, but all will get the same results. Whichever one is most comfortable for you, that's the one that you can use whenever you're doing your braiding. Here I'm going to go again. I'm going to section my hair, and then I want to start adding my pieces. You can add some of your product, whatever sealing, shining jam or gel or whatever you normally use to do your braiding. You want to go 1, 2 braid down. Make sure you grip as close to the root as possible, making sure it's neat, not too tight to make the customer or the client uncomfortable. And then you want to start adding your pieces once again, right? Then you add your second piece. These are protective styles, so we want to make sure that when we are braiding, we want to make sure that our client's hair is already clean, shampooed, and we want to then proceed with our braiding style. And we continue braiding until we get our desired size. Also, you want to add the right size of pieces of hair, braiding hair into your hair. Also, you must have this section out and ready to go. You don't want to be stopping and grabbing, or then you have to wait to section out your pieces. You must already have your pieces section out, your table set up for braiding, and you have your hair section out on your braiding rack or whatever you're putting your hair on to braid. And then you braid right out. Then we're gonna go to the last piece, last section of our knotless. This is a different method we'll be using. Then we're going to start braiding our last piece. So this last method here, it's pretty much the same results you're going to get, but it's just that you're using a different gripping technique. So you braid 2 down, Same way, you grip as close to the root as possible, making sure your client is not uncomfortable, and you add your first piece. And you're now going to bring that piece in. You're going to just put that at the top, and then you braid 2, and then you're going to add the piece that you would have put at the top, and then you braid 2 down with that inside. I hope I'm being a little clear with my demonstration. Then we add another piece, we put that section at the top again, braid down 2, then we're going to bring that into the here, braid 2 down, then we're going to add our next piece, put that at the top again, or you can clip it away also if it's falling down, and then we want to add the piece into the here. You add it, the last piece, then we want to braid right down 2, and then we add our last piece of hair from the top, and then we braid. We're going to turn our hands over now, and then we proceed with our braid to whatever desired length.